the focus today is on the vagus nerve and how tapping can activate the vagus nerve. Tapping today will be specifically for a sense of calm and easefulness, that sense of peace that can sometimes be hard to access when life starts to speed up, and that can happen when October merges into November and then December. So just a little bit of extra tools in your toolkit for when you need to calm down or reset your nervous system. Some simple things that you can do. We're going to talk a little bit about the vagus nerve. So the vagus nerve is one of 12 cranial nerves. It's the 10th cranial nerve, and it runs from the base of our skull down our neck, through our throat, our heart, our stomach, our diaphragm, spleen, kidneys, liver, all of the major organs, and it ends in the large intestine. There are simple, gentle yoga poses you can do to activate your vagus nerve. And we're going to pay particular attention to our neck through some yoga poses, through some breath work, and through tapping. So let's begin. We're going to just sit in a chair. If tapping and holding your hands up, like if you're tapping like this, is difficult, you can't see it here, but I've got this little table in front of me. You could set your elbows on the table and you could just tap a few times. It doesn't have to be any set number of times. But feel free to do that. Or you could also, let me put my tea down, place your elbows just right on your knees if you need to give them a break, because I understand that holding your arm up to tap, any number of times, they could get tired. We're going to begin just by finding that spot in your chair where you feel comfortable, probably towards the back of your chair, without slumping down. So we don't want to slump because we want to have some ability to have a full breath. And when our back rounds and we kind of slump, and you can see the ribs kind of fall forward, it collapses our breath. It doesn't give the diaphragm as much room to do what it loves to do, which is that big, full breath. So sit up nice and straight. That's another way of saying sit up tall. And I've been doing a lot of work with mindfulness lately. So we're just going to take a few moments here to settle. And you don't have to close your eyes. In fact, it's probably better if you don't close your eyes. We'll let our gaze settle on something. So it could be something out your window, or even, the pattern of your rug. But notice, without judging, notice. So, where I am, the leaves are all gorgeous, yellow and gold and red and orange. So just notice the color or the shape. Notice the texture of something without giving a name to it. Just notice it. If it's under your feet or under your seat, notice how it feels. And how do you feel when you take the time to slow down just a bit, to do absolutely nothing but look around the space which you inhabit? And it doesn't mean that it has to be something warm and fuzzy. You might have a dog that's barking or scratching. Notice that without judging it. Allowing all things without judging. And just taking some time to settle your breath, slow it down. I see the leaves on this plant. They're so big and glossy, like a Kelly green. And the pot that it's in is got some moss growing on it. That texture of the moss. And then when you're ready, cast your gaze down to the floor or close your eyes. And we'll just pay attention to only your breath. So eyes closed or cast down, you're not looking really at anything. Find your breath in your body. Where is it? What is it doing? And try to send it lower into the belly. Your belly gets a little bit rounder, expands on your inhale. The diaphragm moves down. All the organs below the diaphragm get displaced a little bit. They get pushed out of the way to allow for that inhale. And as you exhale, the belly, the side ribs kind of come back to where they started. Diaphragm lifts. All those organs go back to where they were. And we do this throughout the day. Breathing in and breathing out. It's a constant concert with your diaphragm and the organs that live below it, your lungs, and your throat, your larynx. The air passes through. There is never not this flow of breath, even when we're asleep. Tuck your chin to your chest and feel that stretch in the back of your neck. Let your eyes flutter open if they're not already. And we're going to begin by just lifting your chin up, looking towards the ceiling, not directly at it. We don't want to throw our head back. So it's just a gentle lift of the chin and then lower. Lifting and lowering. Nice and slow. Doing this to begin to activate the vagus nerve as it runs through the neck. So like you're saying yes, shaking your head up and down. Yes to everything. The next time your chin is down, stay there. Once it's there, see if you can let your head get heavy and let your head hang a little bit. Maybe the chin comes down a little closer to your chest. Lift the chin when you're ready. And we'll start moving our head from side to side, like we're saying no. So look over towards one side and then over towards the other. Back and forth. Nice and slow. If this makes you feel dizzy, then slow it way down and maybe just look to one side, stay there. And then slowly move to the other side and stay there for a matter of moments. The next time your head is looking over towards the right, stay there, keep it there. And then lift your chin up. And again, we're not throwing our head back. It's a slight lift, just enough so that you feel this stretch kind of along the front and over towards the side of your neck. And you'll feel a compression in the other side. And continue to breathe. Sometimes when we move our neck, we forget to breathe. We so focused on what we're doing with our necks. Take your chin and swing it or just allow it to kind of swish back to chin to chest. On your inhale, lift your head and we'll look over towards the left. So slowly move your head over towards the left, as far as it can go. And it doesn't have to go super far, whatever feels good for you. We can hold a lot of tension in our neck, so that will determine often how far you can look from side to side. Cast your gaze on whatever you're looking at and notice it. Notice the color, the shape, the texture, or the sound of it. On your next inhale, lift the chin up and away. And you'll feel that stretch kind of from these glands right here down to the collarbone. And breathe. Just relax the jaw. On your next exhale, drop the chin and move it back towards your chest. And then inhale, center your head again. And we're going to now move towards the center of our chair. So you can put your hands on the side of your chair and scoot forward, or you can move one hip forward and then the other, and just scoot to about the center of your chair. Your knees might be over your toes. You can bring them out in front a little bit if you'd like. And then if you want a wider seat, if that feels good, just pick up the flesh on the top of your thighs and spin it towards the outside. That'll give you a wider base to sit on. And from here, get my hair out of the way, we're going to tip our right ear to the right shoulder. So if we started out like this, it might have felt really stiff, but we've done a little bit of movement with our neck. Don't be surprised if it still feels stiff. And you don't have to get your ear at your shoulder. This can be hard. And what you'll feel is a much deeper stretch in this side of the neck. So the vagus nerve runs down the carotid sheath on each side of your neck. And when you release your neck muscles, so all of the things we've done so far, you are able to get more blood flowing to the from the vertebral artery to the brainstem and the vagus nerve. So it's like a little kind of juicy warm up. Take a breath. And as you exhale, lift your head back to center and just notice how your neck feels. It probably feels different from one side to the other, and you may even feel it in the back of your right shoulder. Other side, left ear towards the left shoulder. Does this side feel different? It almost always does. We think we're symmetrical, and we're almost never the same on each side. Sometimes there's the tendency to lift that right shoulder up to take away some of that stretch. If that's you, if you find yourself doing that, you can just put a hand on that shoulder, pull it down. And think about that blood feeding the vertebral artery, the brainstem, the vagus nerve. You're doing something really good right now. Take a breath. And as you exhale, lift the head back up to center. And let's do some shoulder rolls here. When you work with your neck, sometimes your shoulders get a little stiff. So just some really gentle shoulder rolls, going one way and then the other. One last little manipulation that we'll do before we move on to some poses is take your fingers and find the top of your ears. And just start to pull the ears up and out. Inch your fingers down a little farther, pull the ears up, or these outer edges of the ears and out. Inch them down a little bit more, pull them up and out. Keep going all the way down your ears, pulling them up and then away from your ears, away from your skull. At some point, you'll have to switch the fingers, pull them out and then down until you get to your earlobes, pulling them out and then down. Maybe you're at the very bottom, pull them down and away. And you don't have to get tripped up in the language. You're really just pulling on your ears, pulling them away from your head. Let your fingers, the peace sign fingers, rest right below your earlobes and just trace down the sides of your neck. This is where your vagus nerve is as it runs through the neck. It's a nice, gentle massage. Don't press too hard. It's really gentle. If you place a lot of pressure on the carotid arteries, you can feel a little faint or dizzy. So it's a gentle, gentle pressure. And again, feel free to place your knees on top of your thighs if you're tired of holding your arms up. And then we'll just let that go. Inch yourself a little bit more towards the top third of your chair. And we'll move into a gentle twist. Bring your hands together, push them together, and twist towards the right. Go only as far as your body allows you to go. And then release the hands. You can put one hand anywhere along the right leg or even grab the center of your chair. And the right hand comes behind you or off to the side. And twist. Take a breath here. And as you exhale, stay in this twist, but look to the opposite direction. This is a great way to regulate your nervous system. And you can do this in real time. You start to feel like things are getting a little out of control. Just sit in your chair, twist your spine one way, twist your neck the other. And breathe. On your next exhale, unspool yourself, keeping your right hand on your thigh or grabbing the chair. The left arm comes forward, out to the side, and you can keep it here. You can place your hand on your hip, your shoulder, or extend the arm up and over. Trying to keep both sitting bones on the chair so we're not falling off of one sitting bone. Possibly look up under the arm. So we're doing a lot of movement with our neck. Let's breathe here. And let that breath go. Breathe in. And let that breath go. Inhale, come all the way back up. Other side, hands together, press them together, and then turn to where you just naturally turn without any help at all. Once you find that place and you feel comfortable, take your right hand, place it anywhere along the left leg or the center of the chair. The left hand comes behind you. Twist a little deeper if it feels accessible or sensible. I'd rather sensible over accessible. And then when you're ready, turn to look over the opposite shoulder. So spine twisting to the left, head looking towards the right, and breathe. This is probably one of my favorite things to do. When you're ready, unspool yourself. Bring your hands back to center. And because we've been twisting our spine this way and that, just bring a little bit of a sway. Maybe you can see it without my hands in front. So a little bit of sway to the spine. Not a lot. We're not really trying to move into extreme shapes today. Just gentle. And then take your forearms and place them on the tops of your thighs. So your feet can be as far apart as feels good to you. So mine are a little bit wider than hip distance. Take your right hand and just place it on your shoulder. And that makes space so that your other hand can come across and grab your other knee. As you inhale, open up towards the right. You can lift the arm, hand on the shoulder. You can move it down to your hip or bring it behind your head. Take a breath. And as you exhale, bring that elbow down. You can tap or go over to the other side. And we're going to do a few of these spinal rotations, activating the vagus nerve as it runs through the stomach, the diaphragm. Maybe inhaling as you lift and exhaling as you twist. If this feels good to you, it's another thing you can do just isolated on its own as many times as you like. It can be once or twice, or it can be 10 or 12. The next time that you're reaching, either the elbow pointing down or crossing, take the hand and thread it underneath that arm. And just reach that hand forward. You can let your head get heavy if you'd like. And then come all the way back to where we started. Just unthread the arm, both forearms on the thighs. And wherever you had your hand on the first side, it doesn't mean that's where you'll want to place it on the second side, because we'll circle back to we are not symmetrical. So either the hip, the shoulder, or behind the head, but we'll start at the shoulder and we'll open up towards the left. Oh, sorry. Put that right hand over. So we create like a little bridge between our legs. And then choose your adventure. Where do you want your hand? I'm going to put mine on the hip this time. Take a breath. And as you exhale, come down and you can touch or not. Just the action of the rib cage circling the spine is enough. The arm is just kind of, we have to do something with it. If your hand is on your shoulder, it would look like this. This can be done very slowly. Choose the pace that feels good for you. But the next time that elbow comes down, thread the left arm underneath the right and keep reaching with that right hand. A nice stretch for the shoulder. Breathe. And then we'll come all the way back. So bring that arm back out. And because of all that twisting, we'll just do a couple of little cat cows here. Let me turn to the side so you can see me. You can stay where you are, but just round the spine and then press the chest and ribs forward. Do a few of those. Tucking the tail as you round, untucking as you extend and press forward. And when you feel complete, come back to the center of your chair. I'm going to come closer, but you can stay where you are. So we're going to start tapping. And I just want to make sure that you can really see all of me and what I'm doing. We're going to be tapping the meridian lines of our body. So the meridian lines are lines of energy. They're spaces of energy that send that energy to our organs. They help to activate the vagus nerve. It's good for the brain. Your brain loves it when it gets stimulation from this kind of reverberating or resonating tapping. Let's start down at our wrists. We're just going to use one hand. I'm going to use my right hand. You can use your left hand. It doesn't matter. But take your fingers and just start tapping your wrist. And this is gentle tapping. And while you're tapping, you can say to yourself or out loud, I invite calm and easeful, peaceful qualities into my life. I invite calm and peaceful, easeful qualities into my life. Switch to the side of your palm, that pinky side, and tap just along the edge. I deserve ease and calm. I deserve peace. It's a lot to keep tapping, then maybe rub it. Move up to take your pointer finger and the outside edge of the pinky finger and tap. Calm. I deserve calm. Your eyes can be closed or they can be open, but sometimes they naturally close. Move to the outside of your thumb. Peace. I deserve peace. Move to the outside edge of that pointer finger and tap ease. I deserve ease. We're going to move these fingers to the top of our head. So just find center of your head and tap. And you can rest your hand on your head too. Do this. Place it on a leg or a table. I am open for easefulness, calmness, and peace to enter. Move fingers of both hands to just above your eyebrows. Tap. My thoughts are easeful. My thoughts are easeful. Move your hands underneath your eyes, and the skin there is a little bit more tender, so a really light touch. There's no drag on the skin. I seek peace. I seek peace and ease. Slide those fingers down to just above your lips. You can go back to one hand, a gentle tap. My words are calm and peaceful. I speak calmly. Move your hands down to your collarbone. So my microphone is in the way. So I'm going to try to make this work, but start tapping along the edge of your collarbone, and you can just do one side. So I'm just going to do one side because I don't want to mess up the sound, but tapping the collarbone. Peace and ease and calm have always been within me. Peace and ease and calmness have always been within me. Come to the center of your collarbone, move a couple of inches out to the side and then down. And you can either tap or massage. It's up to you. I carry peace and ease in my heart. I carry peace and ease in my heart. I'm going to kind of stand up a little bit. Move your hands down to kind of in between under your arms and your lowest ribs. So about there. And tap. I am peaceful. I am easeful. I embody calm. I am peaceful. I am easeful. And I embody calm. Bring your wrists together and tap them both together. Just allow yourself to breathe easefully, calmly, peacefully. And then let that go. We're going to move into our buzzing bee breath. It's also known as Brahmari breath. One of my favorite patterns of breath to practice because it creates this resonance, this internal resonance through humming. Humming is a great way to regulate your nervous system and to calm down. I've read recently that if you're humming, you cannot have any other competing thoughts. So I don't know if that's exactly true, but I do know that if I'm humming while I'm working or doing something, I really am not, I'm pretty focused. I'm not thinking about all the other things that are going on in my day. So there's a little pro tip. Just maybe pick a song you like and hum it. But we're going to hum with our mouth closed by taking this long, deep inhale and humming our breath out completely so that there's no breath left. You'll feel this tingling on your lips, maybe, probably. And that's the part I love about it. You might even feel a little bit of kind of a tingling, for lack of a better word, or on your teeth, like the or your teeth meet. Essentially, this is what we'll do. We're going to plug our ears. So you'll take your thumbs and plug your ears. You don't have to like plug them really hard, like you don't have to put a lot of pressure, but plug your ears. This little flap, hold it in. You'll take a deep breath in. And then as you exhale, instead of, sighing or breathing it out in other ways, you will hum it out like, hmm. It might tickle your lips. Hum it out so that there is no breath left. Everybody's breath is going to be different because everyone's inhale is going to be a different length. If you were to do this in a room full of people, everybody doing the same thing, it sounds like a swarm of bees because everyone's inhale and exhale is different. And there's this like rise and fall of buzzing. So it's a really cool experience. If you ever find yourself in a yoga class that's doing that, or gather your family around and see if they're if they're willing to do it with you. Anyway, let's take a breath in and just let it go through your mouth. And then plug your ears and take a breath in. And at the very top of that breath, make sure your lips are together and exhale. So you might be surprised how long you can exhale when you hum it out. Sometimes that breath just keeps going, but hum until there is nothing left to hum. Let's begin. We're going to keep going. Let me just double check the time and keep going until, you hear me say to, let that go or release. Okay. Plug the ears, take a deep breath in, and when you're ready, exhale with a hum. I hope my mic is picking up that hum. My ears are plugged. I'm going to breathe in. Now I'm going to hum it out. I'm ready to breathe in again. Maybe you already have. This is the last time I'll say it. I'm going to hum it out. Continue at your own pace. Let the muscles in your face relax. Finish up where you are. At the end of your exhale, just release your hands away from your ears and sit quietly. Do you feel any sense of buzzing or a little bit of reverberation around your lips or your chin or your throat? Just sit with this feeling, even if you're not feeling much of anything. Sometimes your head will feel a little bit of a buzzy feeling too. You could stay here if you'd like. Or you can drop your chin to your chest. Let your eyes blink open if they were closed. And then as you inhale, center your head. I'm going to go back to where we began just to see if we feel any more sense of freedom in our neck. So chin to your chest and lift up. So you're looking towards the ceiling, not directly at it, and go back and forth, lowering down and lifting up. Come back to center and look from side to side. Noticing anything that you might feel along the way that feels maybe more open, maybe less constricted, hopefully, fingers crossed. One more time from side to side. And then come back to center. Take a breath here. Let it out with a sigh. Take a breath here. Let it out with a shush. Shh. Take one more breath in and out through your nose. And there you go. So some things that you can do to calm yourself down in real time, resetting or regulating your nervous system. You know, I think it's important to say that we don't always want to be calm. You know, we need to have our nervous system able to move between that really active and stimulated. Sometimes we have to act. You want to run from a burning building. You want to be able to um, have that difficult conversation with a person. But we can't stay there. Just like we wouldn't want to be just super calm all the time. We need both. But if you feel like you're running into the weeds and there's no way to really find that sense of peace and calm, any one of the things we did today can be done in isolation, can be done by themselves. You don't have to do the entire thing. I mean, the entire thing is awesome if you have the time, but you could pick one or a few and use those as just more tools in your toolkit.